Welcome back. It's Cressway's Business Live from the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Ivanka Trump at the White House has been hosting a round table all about online sex trafficking.
One of today's most prevalent forms of trafficking is the buying of selling of young boys and girls. This is a hidden crime, and while the numbers are hard to track, we are all very well aware that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry impacting the most vulnerable members of society.
Now, discussing Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act, the bill would make tech companies liable if they knowingly facilitate trafficking. Some groups are opposing this on the grounds of free speech. Let's talk to Bradley Myles, Chief Executive of Polaris, a non-profit organization helping corporations end human trafficking. Good to have you with us, sir.
Hi, Richard.
You also run the national hotline in the United States, in North America, for this. How many calls do you get?
This past year, we got about 26,000 calls. Right now, we're answering around 150 a day from survivors, from community members, from people calling in, from flight attendants, from Uber drivers saying, we think we saw something. This is how we're discovering trafficking in America.
And you have the network available to be able to follow up on that?
3,000 nonprofits across the country that we've partnered with, and over 1,000 law enforcement. So in any community across America, we can refer the case and activate people very quickly after receiving the tip.
Okay, so we've heard from Delta and we've heard from Uber, and earlier we've heard from, we're going to hear from Airbnb. But we're a business program, and I need you to discuss with me the proper role that you think corporations can play.
Sure.
Because this is in my view, this is the next step in the fight against human trafficking.
Precisely.
It is the role of businesses.
Precisely. So traffickers, they use businesses. They use Uber. They might use Airbnb. They might use banks. They might use flights and hotels. So businesses can step up and increase risk to traffickers and decrease their profits by understanding their role and understanding how traffickers might be using them. And Polaris's data on the national hotline can be shared with those businesses to say, here's where your risk is, and here's how you could step up and do something about it.
You have broken this down to 25 categories. From those calls, you know where to target. Tell me some.
Yes, so we've looked at over 40,000 cases of trafficking, figured out there's 25 major types in America. Domestic workers, agriculture, carnival workers, late night janitors, in the sex trade, illicit massage businesses, women in truck stops, women in cantinas. So there are these 25 types. Then you could create a matrix and understand which of those 25 types intersect with these businesses. Which ones use banks? Which ones use Uber? Which ones use Facebook? And therefore, those corporations can be major partners in the fight against trafficking when they understand which types intersect with them.
Right, but this is much more forensic than just observing, isn't it? You're now going into deep research and extrapolation.
Sure. So the first part of Polaris is operating the national hotline, helping survivors, getting survivors connected to help. The next part of Polaris is analyzing data to deeply understand how the traffickers work and then create strategies to fight them. And those strategies involve partnering with business in a big way.
How do you convince businesses? Look, the real problem, or one of the problems you've got is everybody pays great lip service, dreadful problem, terrible issue, awfulness, terrible things happening. But do they want to be the ones to, as Alison Osborne said, it's a dark subject.
Right. Well,
how do you convince them?
So I've been doing this for 15 years. I was there for the 10 years of businesses telling us it's a dark subject. Now the tide has turned and the businesses are saying we see real potential and the roles that we can play here. So in the past few years, we've seen Delta and Uber and Airbnb and plenty of other hotels and plenty of other groups and banks stepping up and saying, what can we do? Facebook is saying, step up, what can we do? So businesses are at the table now, and that's a big shift in the trafficking fight. I'm glad you're featuring it on your program. It's wonderful.
Well, we think obviously it's significant. We are a business program, but the issue becomes, once you've got them involved, what do you need? Do you need money? Do you need people? Do you need resources? I suspect you always need money. But what is it you really need now to get businesses more on board?
For the mission, the businesses need to understand the data of what is their true risk and their true intersection with the issue. They need to really have that forensic data, and then they could get very targeted about what they can do about it, and they could get much more informed about what they could do about it. So we're out of the realm of general public awareness, this might be out there. We're now into the realm of very specific gene
that's the fascinating.
therapy.
That's the fascinating part about this, because we can helicopter the issue. and talk in grand terms
No more
about this.
helicoptering.
This has really got to be granular and down to the nitty-gritty and the unpleasantness.
Right, you've got banking analysts working on this. You've got Polaris analysts working on this. It's informed by hotline data. The trafficking field's getting smarter and better, and you're going to see major improvement in the coming years. You're going
Let's
to
have
see
you on
it.
the program. Thank you. Come back again.
All right, thanks,
We need to talk
Richard.
more about this.